First of all, I'm Tom Lynch. I'm Superintendent of Schools for the Somerset Berkley Regional School District and Berkley K-8. I'd like to welcome everyone here on behalf of the Somerset Berkley School Committee, administrators, and teachers. I'd like to especially welcome James White's daughter and son to the James F. White Art Gallery rededication. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Brian Fox. He is a former student here and a former artist here, and he'd like to share a few words with us.
I'll keep it short. I thank you very much for inviting me here tonight. It's an honor to come back. When I was in school, I can't tell you how much the art program meant to me, and it still does. Mr. White built a great program, and the teachers here that put it into place, put me so far ahead. Anyway, he built a great program, and again, it's an honor to be here to speak on his behalf. However, I have to admit, when I first came here as a freshman, 14-year-old, when I first met Mr. White, he was very tall. He scared me. Here's this guy who was quiet, very stern-looking, and he towered over me. And I just said to myself, I hope I don't get that mean-looking art teacher. And 4 years later, of course, I had him, and he was never mean nor scary. He was a great guy. He ended up being one of my favorite teachers, and I learned so much from him. Like most things in life, you look back on something, you realize how important that time was. And it didn't take too long for that to happen. Mr. White understood the importance of a strong foundation in the art program, and he built that, and his teachers followed suit with that as well. Mrs. Goulart was one of them. For example, we did 4 years of what, and you guys may, it's as artsy-fartsy kind of a talk, but 4 years of gesture drawing and contour drawing. And I would ask myself, what the hell are those things? And I would have to do these things, and I would dread doing them every single day. And in that time, we had art 5 days a week. I don't know what it's at now. And I would do these drawings. I didn't understand why I was doing them. And I just didn't get it. It only took until the start of my freshman year in college to realize how well Mr. White had prepared us. In the first week of class, our professors had asked us as students, anybody know what a gesture drawing is? I not only knew what a gesture drawing was, I'm like, I did them for 4 years. I was way ahead of all the other freshmen in the class. I mean, he really did put me far ahead. And not only me, the class I was in, the students behind me, in front of me. On top of that, he taught us to think outside the box. And that was just one example, but outside the box. He pushed our abilities. He never looked down at how we created things or what we created. He only encouraged us. And he instilled that in his staff as well. I got that with Mrs. Goulart. Never had a thing. And I even came back, and Steve Meehan is doing it. And I see what he's doing here. And it's just a great program. So I get it. I finally get that he built a foundation. This whole program that he built. And it's so far ahead of many of the other schools. Some of the schools are just doing crafts and things like that as an art program. When I went into college, I was just so far ahead. So teachers are important. I hope you guys know how important, whoever the teachers are here, how important you guys are. And by the way, I still put those practices, those drawings, those gestures, and those contours and everything into practice today, into my work now. I start my projects with the same things he taught me all those years ago. So this gallery dedication is a fitting tribute to a man who had so much to do with my career, and I wouldn't be where I am today without him. And all those hundreds of people who have gone through as well, before and after me. So, thank you, Mr. White.
As most of you know, Mr. White taught at Somerset for 38 years, which is a remarkable career. And many of you know that this is a model school for the state. We're about 6 or 8 in line of this particular school. But there are subtle differences in most of the schools, and I'm happy to say that we are the only school with an art gallery like this. So that's another wonderful, fine tribute to Mr. White, because we don't just have a couple of classrooms. We have these panels here that you may not know it, but each of these 6 panels that pull out weigh 600 pounds, and they swing in and out like doors. So it's really, really kind of neat. I'd like to introduce his daughter Liz, who has been on the school committee for many, many years, and now is still a principal, so she's following her dad's footsteps as an educator. So welcome, Liz.
Thank you. I just want to take a minute to thank the members of the art department and of the food that they supplied. All the departments came together. It's just really nice to see that. I'd also like to thank the members of the regional school committee, the superintendent, just for bringing this all to fruition, because I know that it's been a lot of planning. Thanks, Rich, for driving the building committee. I know it's a lot of work, and I appreciate that. My father, Jim White, had a great ability to inspire everyone around him. He had a lasting positive impact on so many people and places he touched. His enthusiasm for art was infectious. His inquiry-based teaching method and his Socratic approach fostered a passion for art in his students, even though sometimes it was maddening with the questions. But there was a method behind the madness. As you know, he served as an educator for 38 years. Most of that was at Somerset. The diversity of courses that we have here, you won't find in other high schools in this area, in the East Coast, because it's so important that the foundation, the grounding of the art here, just don't give it up. Don't let the momentum stop. Please continue to keep supporting the arts, because it separates us from everyone else. My father had a way of bringing the community and school together with programs like the one he initiated for students at the high school with the Visiting Artist Seminar programs. He dedicated his life to education. He never lost his passion for learning. He retired in June 1999 and was elected the following May 2000 to the Somerset School Commission. My father was someone that truly lived his dream. He loved being a teacher and working with students. I remember coming to school, and at home he was my dad, and he got grumpy sometimes. But in school I noticed, different guy who was always happy. So I asked him one day, "Are you always in a good mood at school?" And he said, "Absolutely. I love what I do." He truly loved teaching. My father was one that would shy away from the spotlight and always put out his students out in the front. However, I'm certain that he would be as humble tonight as he was during that first dedication in 1999. He would often remind me to make sure that you leave things in better condition than you found them. I believe he accomplished that, and we're all better for knowing him. My family appreciates the acknowledgement tonight on my father's birthday. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. I'd now like to introduce our principal, Mr. David Lanzinski, who's going to say a few words and close out the ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to first start off by thanking some very important people. One is my staff here at Somerset Berkley Regional High School, who come in every day and lead and foster creativity and do what Mr. White did and ask those questions and make them think and push them outside of the box to see the artwork that you're seeing here today. And their dedication to their craft and their skills are really what's developing the next level of artists that we can produce here at Somerset Berkley Regional High School. Another group that I need to definitely thank, and there's a lot of them here, are the students of former students and future students. And the ones that come up in the dream, and they come up and they wonder, and they see things differently than, I will be honest, than I do. I have very few art skills. Crayons are foreign to me. There's certain things I'm good at. This isn't one of them. But it allows me to appreciate the amazing things that are done here on a day-to-day basis, and to be blessed to walk into the classrooms every day and see the kids' faces light up. They don't know I'm watching them. but just to see them within their work, focused, and see the art and see the creativity come out of them, it's proof. It's proof that what Liz just said, that she believes her father's influence is still here. You don't have to believe Liz. It's here. It's here. This isn't here without your father's influence. And although he stopped teaching in 1999, our kids that are here with us now have a little piece of him with them as they move forward. And that's the beautiful thing about the occupation of teaching, is that even when you're not here anymore, you're impacting the lives for generations to come. And yet, it's why I think that teachers are immortal. They'll always be here, and they'll always keep pushing us forward. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming here tonight and sharing in this great experience and remembering Mr. White and seeing the great artwork that our present and what our future can become. Thank you so much for all your time, and enjoy the art gallery. Thank you so much.